The controversial fuel subsidy payment will gulp 450 billion naira in 2020. The administration of President Muhammadu Buhari now refers to subsidy payment as under recovery. Both the IMF and the World Bank and some local economic experts had asked Nigeria to stop subsidizing petrol consumption and instead spend the money on infrastructure and other social services. The Nigerian government routinely imports petroleum and sells these imports at below cost on the domestic market to keep price levels down. In 2003, this subsidy on imported petroleum product amounted to more than 1% of Nigeria's gross domestic product. Recall the Buhari administration announced the removal of petrol subsidy in 2016 and imposed a pump price increase of 145 naira a litre, as the then new government tried to distance itself from the misdeeds of past government. However, it is worrying that the APC-led administration, which once protested the payment of petroleum subsidy, has decided to retain it with a new term under recovery. In this video, President Buhari vowed to stop the subsidy.
If anybody said he is subsidizing anything, he is a fraud. So all these people talking about subsidy, who is subsidizing him? But there is so much fraud, as I said, and indiscipline and corruption that I don't talk about it. But the day I have to talk about it, I will ask the petroleum economists to come and tell me who is subsidizing Nigerian oil. Whose oil is it? We had 4 refineries with a capacity of 480,000 barrels a day. Let's see if they are equal. Because of corruption, they have virtually allowed those refineries, to become so inefficient that I don't think they produce half their capacity.
But Finance Minister said the subsidy is called under recovery because it is considered to be part of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation's operating costs.
We also had planned a production of 2.3 million barrels per day. We ended up 2018 with production of 1.84 million barrels per day.
This year, the total vote for works is 165 billion naira, about a third of the subsidy cost. Total vote for education is also 165 billion naira, while housing will get 90 billion naira, 1/5 of what the subsidy will consume. The landing cost of petrol in the country currently is 207 naira 98 kobo. This implies that government currently pays 62 naira 98 kobo subsidy per litre of petrol.
I am confident that our aggressive and re-energized revenue drive will maintain that revenue ratio at acceptable and manageable levels. We will also continue to be innovative in our borrowings by using instruments such as Sukuk, green bonds, and diaspora bonds.
65 licenses, and not one of them has started producing. The reason is very simple. People who are going to produce, they probably need to borrow money to set up this plant. They borrow the money and then they produce, and then the government that is supervising their activities says that, oh, you cannot sell at the market price and make a profit. You can only sell below this price. The difference we will pay to you, okay, as subsidy. Because we don't want the price of petrol, knowing fully well it has an instigatory impact on all other products. So we are going to tell you, you will not produce, or you will not sell above this price. That is what regulation is all about. And because of that, those people who are putting their money will say, if we have to look at the history, we find that those who have imported petrol, not even set up refinery, imported petrol, it takes maybe 1 year, 2 years for them to get back their subsidy. Especially when the investors are people who have taken money from abroad and they have to repatriate it.
As it stands, payment of petroleum subsidy may take some time before it is eliminated. The government keeps the retail price of fuel at 145 naira, costing the government 450 billion naira. And more worrying is that any threat of increment causes outrage from consumers who fear it could drastically increase their cost of living.